Welcome back to my adventures in Metroid Zero Mission. Last time we got a Vario suit, a wave beam, and now we get to test the wave beam by blasting this Parastute. Normally we wouldn't be able to hit it because that wall's in the way, but the wave beam lets us shoot right through it. We can charge it, we can do tons of damage, we still have the ice beam capabilities. Not that it really works on Parastutes, but oh well. And now I'm just kind of screwing around with this poor thing. Not to mention it just has a lot of health. But that's okay. Now that we've gotten that taken care of, we're able to move onward. So, essentially, what we had to deal with last time was all of this lower area of Norfair. Lower Norfair, I suppose you could say. But, now we can actually make a bit of progress here. What I'm essentially doing right now is trying to set this up just right. Another thing with the wave beam is that it also gives us a wider shot, which makes it a whole lot easier to destroy those blocks and get in here. What is this weird thing? Well, this thing is called a Kiru-Giru. Sometimes known as a bug larva, and it hurts just to touch the dang thing. So, what do we do to get around this? Well, unfortunately, there's only one thing you can do. Kill it. Just continue to shoot it over and over and over. And now that we got that wave beam, it's pretty easy to do. But, just because that was easy doesn't mean we're done yet. If you remember, we've seen this thing before. And we actually see it right here. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah. So the one thing that we're going to have an issue with is that this thing's shell is super hard. We can't touch it. And even with the almighty wave beam, it can't pierce that shell. So the only thing we can do is back it into its corner here and hurt it with morph ball bombs. Sadly, not as strong as the wave beam, so it takes a few more shots, but that's essentially what you have to do. It's a little difficult to make sure you time it just right, so that's why it's taking me longer than it should, but it's actually not that hard. It's just a weird mini-boss. I mean, I don't even know if it's technically officially a mini-boss, but I don't know what else you would call it, right? So, unfortunately, we had to take them down. They did leave us a little bit of a present, though, so let's use our missiles and get an energy tank. Alright, so now we can continue onward. But we still can't get that missile. Or can we? Because now, with our little bug friend gone here, we can go straight and shine spark through the floor. Which lets us get a missile tank. Now let me see. Alright, great. So, we can finally continue onward. We had to go quite a bit of a roundabout way. But we're almost ready to go into the next area. But we gotta deal more with these Garutas and Tanglevines. And as much as I want to save these Tanglevines, save these Garutas, they still want to try and hurt us. So, we're just gonna have to destroy everything in our path. Because these Tanglevines certainly aren't going to be nice to us. They weren't nice to the Kiru-Giru, as you can see here. I mean, assuming that is Kiru-Giru. I would think that's not just a cocoon, and that's actually a Kiru-Giru. But that's not the only Kiru-Giru. Here's another one. This one is also being attacked by the Tanglevines. And unfortunately, it's attacking us. So we can't just go out of our way to save it with ease. We have to use this weird-looking Ripper who's just hanging around, minding his own business. He grew wings for some reason. And, we gotta destroy the Tangle Vines. It's a simple enough boss. It's interesting to have, like, multiple, like, bosses at once. I don't know if you'd qualify this as a boss or a mini-boss, but either way, it's interesting. It's not very hard. I'm doing it the hard way, because what I really should have been doing was just spamming ice beams on this weird-looking Ripper while jumping up here and shooting the vines, and I was taking it a little too easy on it. I mean, this thing's not a threat to Samus at all at this point. With Samus having 4 energy tanks, yeah, this is easy. I'm just not doing it the right way, because what I should be doing is I should be jumping and shooting down on the freeze beam to get Ripper frozen. But, oh well, it doesn't matter. We're almost there. We just got a few more vines to break. One more, maybe? Is that 1 or is that 2? I can't tell if that's just a multicolored vine. And I accidentally froze the Ripper, so now I have to wait a little longer. Alright, and there we go. We saved the Kiru and fell through the floor. Whoops. Sorry, little buddy. Hope you get better. At least you can still hang out with your little Ripper friend. Maybe he'll help you get out. Bye. I hope he's not mad. Uh-oh. 2 faces. And they're both purple. Well, interesting that as soon as we enter the area named Ridley, we see the cutscene with Ridley. Yep, Ridley has finally arrived on Zebes. So now the question is, what's gonna happen? He probably knows, as far as this story seems, that Krady's gone, and that right now, there's a floating head. That was kind of weird, but no. Right now, he's probably assuming that whoever this bounty hunter is, she needs to go down. Still can't break these green doors. We're getting kind of led around here. Dealing with weirdo faces that look like they should be in well, look at that. The Kiru burrowed down and is starting to make a cocoon for itself. Well, I hope you're doing okay, Mr. Kiru. I have no interest in fighting with you. I just wanna get over there. And I can't even get in anyway. Alright, great. Wonderful. Well, we'll continue onward. Well, there's technically nowhere we can go. I mean, so all we can actually do, because we can't do anything, is just go back the way we came. Kind of a random thing to do, but what can you do, right? I mean, where else can we go? Well, if you think about it, there was the hole that creature just dug for us. It dug fast, so this thing is on, like, the highway to evolution. Way fast down the highway to evolution. Oh. And we're locked in. Right. Whoop. Whoops. Alright. Alright. Look at all these eggs. Huh. Alright. So what you actually have to do is you actually have to break that egg and get Imago's attention. Yes, so the Kiru has finally reached this final stage of evolution. It's become Imago. And it's not happy that you're breaking its eggs. But, unfortunately, we don't really have much of a choice because we have to fight this thing. And it is trying to sting us with that stinger. One thing I was trying to test here and I couldn't get it to work was I wanted to see if I could get a hit in with a speed booster. I don't know if that would actually do damage. I probably wouldn't, but that would be interesting if speed booster and shine spark could hurt Imago. But you'd have to have really good aiming and make sure that you don't hurt yourself at all. And watch out because it's going to come after you and sting you and shoot its stinger, because apparently it can do that as well. But we've blown its stinger off, so now the only thing Imago can do is die. Kill all of its babies and die. Yeah, well, arm with select, fire with R plus B, opens green hatches. Well, thanks to Imago, we've gotten the super missile. This upgrade that we've been waiting to get for so long because we could have gotten it way earlier with those weird Shine Spark one-size block things. Yep, that would have led to a super missile upgrade, but we got it now instead. And now that we do have it, we can open the green doors and deal some major damage with these missiles. But unfortunately, you don't get as many of them as you get regular missiles, so be careful with how you use them. See, I only have 2 right now, so I had to use 1 just to open the door. But, in any case, man, now I don't remember what I was going to say. But yeah, the Imago thing, oh look, the mini-bosses. The mini-bosses become mini-bosses. No. Get out of the way, Deskikas. No, don't use a super missile. You can use a super missile on it, but that's a waste, so don't. Ooh. You knew it couldn't be that easy. I'm pretty sure that you can actually make it to that energy tank. I just figured, why not? I'm not that desperate for energy. But yeah, the weird thing with that Imago boss, as you noticed, was that it went immediately from this worm form to its cocoon to its final form, and then was starting to lay eggs, all within like a very short amount of time, which to me makes me think that those tangle vines probably like jumpstart the growth of whatever creature it touches, because otherwise how in the world would it grow so fast? You know, like, you could always just say, oh, it's a video game, but you know, we're actually thinking of logical solutions here, not just, well, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, chances are, that thing, those tangle lines, if they actually can pierce you and not kill you, would just jumpstart your growth massively, which is kind of terrifying to think about. But thankfully, it's not something we have to worry about. What we have to worry about is getting past this thing and getting in here. Huh. Look at you. Yeah, you're not as special, but those are. Those very annoying creatures. Yep, it's a secret area where all these enemies are hanging out. Kind of annoying. But that's okay, because now we have the energy tank. Now I feel comfortable in moving on. Look at that little box there containing that little annoyance Ridley. He's such a punk. I forget if I had brought this up before, but I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, the fact that Ridley had killed Samus's parents, so putting it as punk is putting it quite mildly. Oh, super missile upgrade, but we are not upgrade. Super missile ammo that we did not need, So that was entirely pointless. I'm kind of just screwing around here right now, trying to get past these Gigas, I guess, because they got stuck down there. Ha! Beautiful. Whoops. I am curious how you guys got down there, like, and how you managed to survive in that. I'm pretty sure nothing should be able to live in that. No living creature, at least, but I don't know. But at least now we can continue on and break through this red door. Yeah, keep in mind, that's going to be annoying for later. There's going to be a lot of annoying things around this area for later. Shine Spark's quite involved. Also, this might be the only map room you can't skip. As far as I know. I think you can skip every other one but this one because it's right there in the way. Again, if you're trying to get 100%, you have no choice. But regardless. So, we're getting closer to some more of the more infamous upgrades. And right now I'm looking into the options here of how I want to do it, if I can even do it. And it doesn't seem like I can from what I'm remembering. From what I'm seeing here now. Yeah, you can't. Because you have to hold the run the entire time, and it's not like you're holding a run button or something, you're just having to run it and make sure that you don't jump, you don't get smacked in the face. You just keep going forward. But, is it really helpful to do it right now? No. You can. It just takes... It's at least good practice from figuring out how to master the timing of making sure you tap down and getting it right. And as you can see, I did not. It's not a good idea to do it right now. Wow, those enemies are really lucky. Like, really lucky. I don't know how they were managing to survive, not being slashed to shreds by the Shine Spark. Alright, well, at least we can continue onward and show off a bit of the next horrible area for upgrades. But we'll get to that in a minute. First we need to get to my confusion, because I had no idea what I was supposed to do here for a while. And then when we get up here... Well, alright, we'll get to the evil upgrades later. Much later, if my hope would have it. More areas we cannot access yet. For the time being... So, that's something I've been wanting to bring up. A few of these times I've noticed myself trying to do this, and I remember doing this, trying to do this as well. Trying to use the charged attack. Since whenever you jump with holding a charge, you're supposed to have the ability to essentially destroy any enemies in your path. But as you can see, you have to time it really well, and I haven't been able to do that, and it's kind of annoying. Kind of really annoying. But that is okay. It's not a big deal. You just need to survive long enough. Not get bothered by all these enemies who are trying so hard to bother us. And remembering that we can't survive in the liquid hot boiling acid magma. Lava. Science. Explain what that is. No, Nintendo will explain what that is. No, that's okay. I don't need an explanation. I'll just have fun in mixing up memes. And discovering new missile tanks. Great. So, now we'll continue onward. Sometimes I confuse even myself. But at least they did it right there. It's a lot easier to just break one and then use the wave beam to get out of there and on with your life. I just wish I was being that smart throughout most of this playthrough and not just the 5 seconds there. We'll be back for this. Well, I mean, we're gonna get this. But there's more to this room. We'll get to it eventually. There's a lot of eventually we'll get to stuff. I think I was hoping for it to go through the enemy and then hit the other enemy, but it didn't, so... Yeah, you want to be careful there, obviously, so you can make sure you get that missile tank. Dang Deskigas. You were annoying as a mini-boss, now you're annoying as a common enemy. And they are a common enemy. I feel like I've run into more of these than I've run into the side hoppers. Maybe I'm just imagining that, but it feels that way. Hooray! Super Missile Tank acquired! You can't get this one before you fight Imago, so... Oh well. You pretty much would have to... Pretty much, as far as I know, I don't know, I'm probably misremembering, but I think that the only ones that you can get are the one that's hidden away, that we purposely ignored, and the one against the Imago. I think those are the only ones that you can get as your first Super Missile Tank. Oh, lots of enemies. And look what we can do! Nothing, because we didn't have enough room. Whoops. First... I guess we're not going to do that first. Alright, that's fine. There we go. Look at that. And a nice refill of your stock as well. This area. This area confused me too, and it gave me so many problems in trying to figure out what I was supposed to do here to make sure I did it right. Because, of course, there's a hidden upgrade, and there's a secret path through here to the other side, but you gotta be very careful, because if you're not, you're gonna do like I just did there, and nearly get locked onto the other side, and then have to crawl all the way around. It is not a good thing to do. Not a good thing to do at all. But that's okay. We can finally move on and go where I really should have been going, the save room. Alright, we'll be done here. Next time on my adventures in Zero Mission, we'll do useful things.